Well, when Fast 9 starts, we essentially meet Ramsay for the first time when she brings this very strange message from Mr. Nobody to Dom and Letty with the rest of the team. She's like, I received this, we have to figure out what it means. And so when we meet Ramsay, she's already kind of like starting to try and crack this next case, essentially. And we kind of get the energy that the team haven't really seen each other for a while. Dom and Letty have been kind of living in a very isolated way and like living this very different life. And so Ramsay with Tej and Roman kind of like bring the drama to their door, to be honest. Exactly, but from the way that Fast 9 kind of pans out, I feel like the drama would have found them anyway. So we just kind of sped up the process. Yes, absolutely. I mean, from the second I stepped onto a Fast set, the rest of the cast and the team were just like, you're one of us now. So me feeling a part of the family was from the very beginning, and they made sure of it. But definitely, like 3 movies in, I feel very much integrated and, just a part of the team, which is really wonderful. And yeah, the script, when I opened it and I read it, I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, well, I guess we're doing it, And I think there's a part of me that is like, the guys that make these movies are so talented and like are so just experts at this stuff. So, for me, I just kind of like, I'm happy to just let them do what they do and be brilliant at it. And I'll try and contribute the best that I can to this like crazy ride that we're about to go on. So I very much like trust the team to do what they do best. So yes, I mean, yeah, they're great fun. They're both very funny, and they egg each other on. Like it's really wonderful energy to be around, and it's almost like they have this unlimited supply of energy. Like it doesn't like waver or anything. They're just like they're just so fun to work with, and it makes it really easy to kind of throw lines at each other and like play and just have fun, and because that's what their energy's like off camera as well, and it's a lot of fun. But I mean, I'll be honest, like I love those guys with all my heart, but there's definitely like end of the day and you're like, okay guys, you're at 10, I'm gonna need you at 5 or something. But all love is, or it's more like very early in the morning in the makeup trailer and you're like, oh, okay guys, I haven't had my first cup of tea yet, let's just gradually edge into it. But this is why we love them. They energize us all and keep us all amped when days are tough or long or cold or repetitive, whatever. Those guys are so great at keeping everyone laughing and in a light energy. So yeah, essentially I just felt like it was like a rite of passage or something, in the Fast movies to finally work with Justin. And it was really wonderful to work with him. He's so excited and driven and really, really passionate. And he's like an excited person who's like gets to play with all these like epic toys, like the most. Think of all the most amazing toys you could think of as a kid to play with. And like, if I could have this thing. And he gets to do that, and you can feel that it's like the energy of like a kid with his favorite toys, almost like playing and making something so amazing, but it's like this huge movie instead with all these huge action sequences. And he's so wonderful with all of these massive sequences and moving parts, stunts, actors. Like he's always so engaged with everything that's going on, every tiny little piece and component. he's fully, he's all over it. And so it kind of meant that no matter what was going on as an actor, if you came to him with an issue or a question or idea, he was always open and ready to kind of give you answers or explanations, because he's so like prepared and it's all in his head. And it meant that you got a very kind of connected and engaged director, which is always just, this is what you can't ask for more, really, from my point of view. So where Jordana hadn't driven for one movie, I haven't driven for 3, so I still don't drive, which is ridiculous. But you know what? Like, everyone has their own timeline, no judgments, please. The driving sequence for Ramsay is just really fun because, she has a very specific role in the group. She knows what her strengths are. She's very confident in that. And she's, oh, hi. Is that your cat? Amazing. She has a very specific role, and so she's forced to step outside of that and really challenge herself. Otherwise, they won't reach their target, essentially. And so it's really vital. She plays a really vital role because there's no one else to do it. And it's a lot of fun because we get to laugh at the fact that Ramsay is completely out of her comfort zone. She has no idea what she's doing, and she's just kind of winging it, and in the end kind of has fun doing it, even though I wouldn't say it goes like well. I would say that she gets where she needs to go. And that's the main thing. Right, I mean, I'm sure that I won't believe how much they shot practically. Just because a lot of the kind of driving stuff and when we were really using the magnets, a lot of those moments I was using my imagination for, because we were doing it in a studio against a green screen or, that kind of thing. So it was really great actually to watch the movie and see how all of those pieces kind of came together, because the sort of actual stunt was shot somewhere else and with other people, usually. And so, but I think one of the funny scenes that we have with the magnets was in the kind of like hideout, and Tej and I are like playing around with the strength of the magnet, and we kind of mess with Roman while he's trying to eat his lunch, which is quite funny. I quite enjoyed that scene because Tyrese's reactions were just so hilarious. And we had fun with that. It wasn't quite a big action scene, but it was quite fun watching him be him. So, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just generally, like, I like to be in a certain kind of physical health, because any shooting schedule is really, really grueling. It's long days, it's, like sometimes you're doing the same movement over and over and over again for hours on end. And it's just physically really challenging, and mentally. And I find that for me, when I don't exercise, when I don't take care of myself, my mental health suffers. So I have to have a sort of routine and a structure that means that I am in the best possible state to do my job. That's just before you consider anything like the physical elements of these roles and the action. But I because Ramsay's an intellect, she's a computer genius, the kind of being physically a certain way is that the demand isn't necessarily there for that character. But in the same way that it might be for some of the guys in the film, but I definitely just on a personal level just like to be in the best state physically and mentally that I can be, just so I can just get through the shoot. Because you feel the difference when you're not taking care of yourself. So I mean, it's John Cena. I mean, I was so excited when that was announced that he was in the films. I'm a wrestling fan, and I was very much a fan when he was in it as well. And so I was just over the moon. And he's such a lovely man and so sweet, and just was such a gentleman. And it was really lovely to meet him just as a fan, but also just to see him absolutely kill it on screen and like do what he does. And it was just really lovely. And yeah, he's just such a great addition, and I'm so happy that he's a part of it. But it's so funny, one of my best friends came to visit me on set one day because he's a huge John Cena fan as well. And I was like, yeah, come down, he's so fun, like he's so sweet. And I took him in there and they met, and John was so lovely to my friend, and you know, took a photo and was really sweet. And then it wasn't until we got back to my trailer that I realized my best friend was wearing a drawstring bag that had WWE on it. And I was like, wait, why didn't you get him to sign it? And he was like, oh, I just forgot I put this bag on today. And I was like, oh, we missed it. We missed our opportunity. But I definitely didn't think to do that actually, because I thought, it's always really sweet and generous when someone's like, wants to, take a photo with someone or give their energy in that way. So I didn't even think of it, to be honest, but yeah, maybe next time. I think it would be really great to have a spin-off with the girls. I mean, they've got such badass women, like currently, but historically, it would be really cool if we could do that. And I would be definitely just so interested in seeing what that looked like. Well, it's wonderful. I mean, he's a really great guy, and like really is a leader, and really has such clear vision for these films. And he wants everybody to contribute and be the best that they can, and he encourages that from everybody. And off of camera, he's always holding dinners at his house with his family and inviting us into his private space, and us all sharing memories that don't just exist on the set. And really, he nurtures every single person and really wants to pull them in. And that's really why this group of people just have so much fun together as well. Like we've built so many memories outside of the movie set, and it's and then we carry that energy onto set as well. And I think it just makes it all the more easier. It makes it easier. It makes it, just such a lovely experience.
Hey, it's Lisa. For all you GOT fans, there are some cool facts for the series in order to make their reactions as realistic as possible. Most of the Game of Thrones cast hasn't read the books. And in all of the Game of Thrones scenes where Tyrion eats meat, actor Peter Dinklage, a strict vegetarian, is actually eating tofu. Now, who's your favourite character? Let me know below. And remember to click down here to subscribe or on the side for more great content.